Hello everyone, I am Neha Kumari from 20MS and going to present on the topic climate change and human health. We are going to cover the topics like climate change, yes, no, commonly known as El Nino, health impacts, medical education. Climate change is harming your health. Climate change is one of the greatest threats to human health. The World Health Organization attributes 23% of all global deaths to environmental factors and 8 to climate related deaths annually by 2030. Climate extremities can have devastating effects on human health due to climate change. We have discussed more detailed about potential health effects due to climate change in our further reports. ESNO effects on climate change. Here ENSO stands for El Nino Southern Oscillation. ENSO events may cause significant interannual perturbations in temperature and or rainfall within a loose 2 to 7 year cycle. The effect of climate change on the frequency and or amplitude of El Nino is uncertain. However, even with little or no change in amplitude, climate change is likely to lead to greater extremes of drying and heavy rainfall and increase the risk of droughts and floods and occur with El Nino in many regions. Here we have shown the image of ENSNO with other events, and here this image shows the ESNO and infectious disease. ENSO events causes physical effects such as droughts and floods shown in the blue circle, where these overlaps and interact with suitable ecological and socio-economic conditions with dotted lines. They may cause disease outbreaks which are shown in darker side. Pathogens effects of temperature and rainfall on abundance and distribution, droughts and floods, disruptions of food and water supplies. Social factors such as human behavior, water shortage, practice, land use, irrigation, flood clearance, livestock, and herd immunity, nutritional status that cause like malnutrition we have seen, vector ecology, mosquito, increase or abundance of mosquito, ticks, immediate hosts, mammals, birds, abundant disturbance behavior. Economic factors such as it affects the poverty, population displacement, travel, housing, urbanization, population density, and particularly in poor countries, the impacts of major vector borne disease and disasters can limit or even reverse improvements in social development. Even under recovery from major disasters can take decades. We have seen a range of physical, ecological, social mechanisms can explain an association between extremes of climate and disease. Here we are exploring the effects of climate change on human health. And one question arises as climate change gets more and more attention in events as a threat to the environment. Have you thought about the effects it has on your health? Direct effects. Climate change causes direct effects as well as indirect effects. And extreme heat events like direct effects, heat stress and illness, is washing and pre-existing conditions, heat-related mortality, indirect effects, infrastructure failures, strains on essential services, disruptions to key social networks, floods and droughts, direct effects such as mental stress, waterborne diseases, drying and injuries, and flood directly affects the potential ill health impacts, changes in mosquitoes, abundance and contamination of surface water, uh, And droughts increase the risk of disease associated with lack of water for hygiene, death, and malnutrition, increase risks of infectious disease, health impacts associated with population displacement. Here, indirect effects of floods and drought shows the respiratory elements disruption to economic and social networks, strains on essential services, wildlife, ecosystem threats, and direct effects. Western Nile virus, Lyme disease, liver, respiratory nervous, skin disorders from harmful algal blooms. Indirect effects, threats to livelihood, financial strains. We have discussed more detail in about the health potential health impacts on human health due to climate change. We have also discussed is in a specific table about low and high rainfall, and here we have discussed through a disaster database of Canadian disasters, right? We're showing the health risks in Canada from climate change. And here are weather related disasters in Canada showing from 1900 years to 2000. Period of time is 1900 to 2011. And wildlife was shown in yellow color here in the graph, and tornado in light blue, for heat events in red color, floods in light blue color, and droughts in gray color. Cold events. Here we have seen the increasing health risks in Canada from climate change. Year by year, it's increasing gradually. Medical education school, most medical schools fails to adequately teach students about its impact. We did pre-intervention surveys among students. We found significant increase in students' beliefs about the needs for climate change education. Indentations to change personal behaviors and apply new knowledge in future clinical practice also significantly increase. Our findings illustrate the importance of a medical school course on climate science and health. Here, medical education, one important question arises: how healthcare studies on climate change can be improved for providing better healthcare facilities. How you can improve? Let's see. By implementing in climate science and health course in the medical school curriculum. For example, Stanford School of Medicine now offers an elective seminar entitled The Impacts of Climate Change on Human Health. Two conceptual models inform the course design and evaluation methods. We use Kern's 6 step of curriculum development to design and implement the course, and Flink's taxonomy significant learning to frame student assessment. Here we discuss about this Kern's 6 step approach to curriculum. First is the problem identification. Problem identification, just like climate change, impacts many aspects of human. Physicians lack health formal training in climate related conditions. Target needs assessment, goals and objectives, educational strategies, third was the goals and objectives, fourth was the educational strategies, fifth was the implementation, sixth evaluation and feedback. And we have also shown a detailed table in our term project, and and each 6 steps were explained in detailed way with examples in our term project. Next, we have seen a picture of Earth showing um, health health advices. We found that a climate science course for a pre-final medical students improved several measures of student learning that extend beyond foundational knowledge. This includes positive changes in student self-reported knowledge, beliefs, and attitudes about the health impacts of climate change and the need of physicians to treat climate-related conditions in the future practice. Here we have discussed analog studies of extreme climate events and human health provide clues about the interaction between climate, ecosystem, human societies that may be triggered by long-term climate trends. Here we have shown the references, the Journal of Climate Change and Health. We have taken through these references, we have made our term projects and we have taken help from all these references. Thank you for hearing out. Thank you so much.